Hello everyone, this is Kevin, your Apptrepreneur, and let's talk about Uber's recent hires of executives. Now, they still have not found a CFO. They haven't found a second in command. Who knows when the heck that's going to be. But here is what you know about Uber if you have been reading the news or following my channel at any length for the last few months. And that's Uber's culture is toxic. It was very sexist, it was very aggressive, it was very abusive, it was into bullying, it was into dirty tactics. The CEO is like the most despicable human being on earth, or at least one of them. And basically, Uber is Donald Trump for a lot of people. A sexist, misogynist pig. And Uber is trying, although unlike Donald Trump, there is a lot more evidence to suggest that Uber is this very thing. And don't get me started on don't even write them. I mean, I'm aware of the video about the grabbing. It's locker room talk. There's not a whole lot of other evidence to support that evidence. But anyway, but Uber wants to change that mentality. They really do. So like yesterday I had read that they hired Frances Faye to work at Uber to help reshape the culture, which if anyone who's been studying businesses knows, you almost can't change the culture. You almost can't. It takes a lot to steer the ship. That's why entrepreneurs are told to be careful when shaping their company culture, because you've got one chance to do it. And you really can't change it when the CEO who founded that culture is still in power. But she's been hired to change the culture. And they made another hire, and I have to look it up just because it's Bozoma St. John. Now, what do these two have in common? Well, they're both women, and one of them is African American, as you can plainly see. Now, I want to state right now, I have no problems with women getting jobs at corporate culture. They probably need more jobs, in fact. And, in fact, St. John, she helped, I think she helped launch Apple Music. So she obviously knows her stuff, and she is more than qualified for this new position as Chief Brand Officer. Sorry, I have to read the notes sometimes. She is now Chief Brand Officer, and her job is pretty much to change the brand on how Uber is viewed. So you have one woman that's been hired to help change the culture, and you have another woman that's been hired to help change people's perception of the company. They're both women, both highly educated women. One's from Harvard, one worked at Apple. This is about as good as it gets, folks. And Uber's hoping this will work. Now, of course, we don't know if it won't work. I have to say, this is definitely a step in the right direction. My question is, will the culture leak down to the drivers? Because ultimately, if the drivers aren't treated any better and if they aren't paid any better, then nothing's going to change. Because here's the thing, the toxic culture, this competitive culture that got the prices as low as it is, that, you know, got the autonomous vehicles production at such cost that they were willing to risk pissing off Google to do it, that's hard to change. That is really hard to change. And if I don't start feeling changes from the company, I can sure as heck assure you no one else at Uber is either. Because we are an extension of the company whether they want to admit it or not. And the interesting thing is that St. John in particular has said, I'm here to share what Uber is about, and I'm here to share about their drivers and who they are. St. John, if you want to talk to me, I could tell you what the Uber story is from a driver's perspective. But I don't think that's the story Uber wants to tell. I don't. I don't even know what story Uber could tell right now. Because, honestly, I have to be honest, folks. I don't know if people care. I don't know if people care anymore. I mean, we've definitely tried educating them. People are definitely aware of the problems of Uber. They still use it in droves. And there's Lyft. And even though Lyft is in some ways the two sides of the same coin, Lyft is just as good a product, and they don't have the scandals Uber has. Why don't people use Lyft? Heck if I know. Heck if I know. So Uber will definitely be working overtime to try to fix their image problem, and you know, I honestly wish them the best of luck. They definitely need it at this point. I'm going to wait until we start seeing some results on the driver side. If the drivers start getting treated better, then that will be true proof that the company is changing. Because if we're having a better experience with Uber, then I can guarantee you everyone at the company is having a better experience with Uber. But what do you folks think? Do you think these hires are good hires? Do you think they will help the company? Do you think they won't? I would love to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, please consider becoming a Patreon and helping support the channel, or buying some swag from the Great Media Universe store. Every little bit helps these days. And as always, flame responsibly. #delete Uber.